The liberals, well, they don't like it. They don't like the fact that Pat McAfee had the sitting president of the United States, the most powerful man in the world, on his show. You loved when Biden was on. You loved it when Obama Mama was on. You loved all of that. And now you're mad because Trump is on with McAfee. Obama fancied himself as a basketball player, and I know a few people that played with him, and they called him, and I'm quoting here, just a little that calls a foul constantly. Of course, you know the ones that won't like it, and we only put them on here to make fun of them. The deranged Rosie O'Donnell-looking Keith Olbermann, of course, he had something to say. Keith Olbermann, who is the worst of the worst. These folks are all hypocrites. Anybody criticizing this, total, complete hypocrites. I hope President Trump goes on every show, everywhere, including ours. Yeah, I don't care who you are. I've been doing a talk show since 2008, and I got to tell you, if a sitting president wants to come on my show, we bring him on my show. I don't give a damn if it's Obama or Clinton or one of the Bushes or Roosevelt. I don't care. Whether it's an independent, doesn't matter to me even a little bit. You're the damn president of the United States. You're welcome on my show anytime. Hell, there's a lot of people in that vein that are welcome on my show anytime. Nick Saban's welcome on our show. Lane Kiffin's welcome on our show. Frankly, if you're a big enough name, you're welcome on our show. De Niro, come on. Let's talk about your psychosis with your, what is it, TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome. All are welcome, but the liberals, well, they don't like it. They don't like the fact that Pat McAfee had the sitting president of the United States, the most powerful man in the world, on his show. Now, you got to understand the stupidity here. You know, every year, the dopey, weird Andy Katz used to go see the dopey, weird Obama, President Obama, not bitching, whining, moaning Michelle Obama, President Obama, and do his dopey picks. Obama fancied himself as a basketball player, and I know a few people that play with him, and they called him, and I'm quoting here, just a little bitch that calls a foul constantly. Anyway, I digress. And when Obama was on television on ESPN, boy, oh boy, did everybody celebrate. Hypocrites. And I'm going to preface all of this by saying thank you, Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth told a bunch of reporters, hey, look, we're not playing your silly, stupid games anymore. We're not. No, if you don't like Trump being on with McAfee, you can suck it, because you are the same people that celebrated the dopey picks of Obama. And don't forget, when Biden went on, he was so out of it. You idiots at ESPN and you hypocrites that follow the liberals and the Democratic Party thought, well, this is great. He's not restricted. He's not cognitively declining. Well, yeah, he was. And Sage Steele has come out and said she had to do the interview scripted because Biden was such a vegetable. People refuse to believe that because people are hypocrites. Now you're bitching. You loved when Biden was on. You loved it when Obama Mama was on. You loved all of that. And now you're mad because Trump is on with McAfee. I got two words for you. Suck it. That's my two words. Suck it. I hope President Trump goes on every show, everywhere, including ours, because, frankly, it boosts ratings, it boosts interest, it takes your program to another level. But you all have to bitch because, well, that's what you do. But we ain't playing your stupid games no more. Nah, we ain't worried about you blue-haired, big, fat women losers or you bearded, skinny, jean-looking punks that get mad. And it's always the usual suspects, right? Here's McAfee firing back at the usual suspects, the liberal critics. You know who you are. Here's McAfee giving them hell.
I will like to say, though, for the immediate people that are going to be mad about that happening, as President of the United States, it's Veterans Day. He's the Commander-in-Chief. Obviously, if we have the opportunity to talk to him, we're going to, and he is hilarious.
What else you want me to say? What else would you like me to say? Here's Trump signing off. Trump signing off with a hoo-ah to the military.
Mr. President, we appreciate your time. Do you have any final messages to the Marines that are around us and the veterans as a whole on this Veterans Day?
Well, I just want to say hello to all of the guys and gals that are in your audience. They're fantastic. You just don't get any better, and we love our veterans, and I'm taking care of the veterans better than any president has ever done by far. Nobody's ever had those approval ratings at the VA. like we have, and Doug Collins is devoting his life to it. It's the most important thing he's ever done. So I just want to thank everybody. Happy Veterans Day. And, Pat, keep up the good work. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Mr. President. How about one last hoorah for the crowd?
You want me to do another one? I'll do another one. Hoorah!
You're the best. Ladies and gentlemen, that's President 45 and 47 of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump. Thank you, Mr. Trump. Mr. President.
Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you too, Mr. President. See you later. Okay. That's outrageous.
Holy
That was not an impressionist. It was actually Mr. President.
That is awesome. That's not kind of, sort of awesome. That gave me chills. Now, you know, the usual suspects, but I'm telling you right now, nobody should ever complain or explain, ever, in any walk of life. Like Pat McAfee, what he said about having the president on was short and succinct. My defense of Pat, short and succinct. If you don't like it, we ain't playing your silly games no more. Suck it. And, of course, you know the ones that won't like it, and we only put them on here to make fun of them. The deranged Rosie O'Donnell-looking Keith Olbermann, of course, he had something to say. Keith Olbermann, who is the worst of the worst. Good for him. He platformed a scumbag who mocked a POW for getting captured and a World War I American soldiers for getting killed. He platformed him on Veterans Day. McAfee is an asshole. Trump hates the truth, and you work for a website filled with fascist twerps. That's about right. That's about right. All you're going to do is just bitch, whine, and moan and name call. Well, we're not playing your games anymore. That good. It's like I tell my kids, remember? You're mad at me? Go over there and be mad. Very simple. All you got to do is turn the channel if you don't like it. But boy, oh boy, did everybody celebrate when Obama. I remember, what's that lady's name? I always forget her name. I actually worked with her. She's on NBC now. She's the one that said, Maria Taylor. I remember she rushed over to get a picture with Obama. You thought she wanted to give him a squeezer. Maybe she did. But boy, oh boy, when she was working for ESPN, I can't wait to talk and take a picture and put it on ESPN's website. Y'all are such fucking hypocrites. You can suck it. Pat McAfee's interview with President Trump should be on the cover of ESPN, the website, but it won't be. Obama takes a dump, all the little minions in Building 4. Oh, we got to get it on the white guys because, well, it's African-American president, and it's one of them. It's a liberal. It's a crazy-ass liberal that has destroyed and divided our country. I don't care, and I'm not going to get into the words of anybody. Never complain, never explain. Very simple. We are not playing your silly, stupid games anymore. And if you think we are, good for you. But we're done. Now, it's over. Here's a woke liberal crying. ESPN gave Trump a platform to spew lie after lie on Pat McAfee's show with no pushback. No, McAfee himself acknowledges at the end of this clip he knows nothing about politics and isn't equipped for this. Good! Neither was Maria Taylor. Neither was Elle Duncan when they broke into and lied about Don't Say Gay. Neither was Jalen Rose when on the court of the NBA Finals, he lied about who was dead and who wasn't. I didn't hear any of these dumbasses bitch, whine, and moan about that. Never complain, never explain. These folks are all hypocrites. Anybody criticizing this, total, complete hypocrites. And I don't care. I don't want to give them oxygen. I just want to make fun of them. When you are so hypocritical that you celebrate some dope that couldn't put a ball in a basket, couldn't have a real job like Obama being president and being on your show, and you celebrate that, and you don't celebrate a guy who solved 8 wars already, is in the middle of fixing the lowest morale in the history of our troops, the lowest sign-inage, however you say it, in the history, enrollment in our military, you can suck it. That's the perfect person. That's the one guy every single rational, reasonable media outlet, entertainment outlet would like to have on their show. Again, you don't like it? Go over there. Go over there until you're not mad enough. It's always the same guy. This guy, Rupar, he's always bitching, whining, and moaning. Olbermann is always bitching, whining, and moaning. If I could distill everything wrong with America right now, I would describe it as Pat McAfee show B-roll image of Trump in front of Qatari military base. Really, the dude has solved 8 wars. I mean, I'm waiting for somebody to drop an Epstein on us. I don't know. I don't know. 12 or 16 years, y'all had the power to release the Epstein files. I mean, look, what's going to be next? This is what's next. The very disingenuous lying about Donald Trump and the troops. Is that what's next? And listen to this douchebag here. If I could distill everything wrong. Oh, Storm guy, this is so cute. Look at John. All you got to do is look at this guy. There he is. She is. Whatever the hell. That's all you got to do. You don't have to go any freaking farther. I don't know who that is. That may not be this person, but that person is in this person's profile. If I could distill was that Mina Kimes? That's the language Mina Kimes used. If I could distill everything that's wrong with shut up. Just shut up. Please go ahead, distill it. God, go ahead. I can see somebody being mad. You just said Mina Kimes because that's an Asian person. Whatever. We're not playing your stupid games anymore. That's Mina Kimes talk. If I could distill, remember we talked about Mina Kimes talk yesterday? She's got to throw fucks in there. And geez, these people give me gas. You already know some of the losers over at Awful Announcing were going to find a way to call out McAfee. Here is Sean Keeley, who's about 10 years old. Doesn't have a hair on his ass. Donald Trump presents a unique problem for the sports media world. No, he doesn't. Not even a little bit. Presents a problem for you, liberals, that hate the fact that the sports media world is now embracing the most successful, best president of our lifetime. You could argue that he is the most sports-friendly president we've ever had. No, that's no argument. I mean, the dude owned a team. When Obama, who acted like a sports guy, was being what? A community organizer? What? Barry Soto? Who was Obama back then? Could also use the same line of logic to say he uses that relationship to sports wash his image, another Mina Kimes term. You're sports washing. These guys are such pussies. Considering he is deeply unpopular at the moment. Really? Is he deeply unpopular, or is he only deeply unpopular to media members that are on the left? I would say that's it. I would say this is the best 9-10 months since I don't know when. I would say you can continue, little media douchebag, to say he's unpopular, but polling says different. While he has the unbreakable support of some, he's the last person others want to see or hear from when they turn on sports programming. Okay. Did you write that about Obama? Did you write that about Biden? I mean, those are two of the least popular presidents ever in the middle of their third year. But you didn't write that, did you? Of course not. Y'all are frauds. One person who has long trumpeted that call is Pat McAfee, and every other media person, including Awful Announcing. If Awful Announcing called that fat ass Benny Koo and said, if President Trump called that fat ass Benny Koo and said, we want to be on your show, we want to be on your podcast, they have a podcast, he would jump up and down, stand on his head and shit snowballs to get it done. The bombastic, you can't compliment somebody, of course. I would say, uber talented Pat McAfee and College Game Day analyst has long lived by the mantra that sports unite us and exist to allow everyone to put their squabbles aside and come together. He also made it very clear that his desire is always keep politics out of what he does. Well, so what? The president called. And it's Veterans Day. And he's doing it in front of troops. McAfee, more than being a guy, this is where these jackasses, these little kids in the media try to slant you. More than anything, including keeping politics out of it, more than anything, including keeping and bringing us together, McAfee has been pro-military, more than anything. So the president calls your director, your producer, his people call your people, and he wants to come on the show. You say yes. And Sean Keeley is full of shit, but they're always full of shit at Awful Announcing. No, you say yes, period. Former president calls the show and wants to come on. You say yes, period. On Veterans Day, where the president is in front of the troops, you say yes, period. Period. You know, Davey, elaborate on the difference between this and when Feinbaum was told he couldn't interview President Trump.
Yeah, Dan, this is what's interesting because Pat McAfee really did put ESPN in a lose-lose situation. If you look at Paul Feinbaum, ESPN owns and broadcasts the Paul Feinbaum Show on ESPN Radio and the SEC Network, but ESPN does not own Pat McAfee's show. That's just a licensing deal. So they can't control who he has on his show. Now, they can, make nice overtures to be like, hey, Pat, like maybe do this or don't do that. But at the end of the day, they can't say you can't do this. Only thing that they could do in this situation, Dan, would be simply once Trump came on, ESPN decided to no longer air Pat McAfee's show during that time period. But you already know if they did that, the uproar would have been huge.
Yeah, it's great. No, it's absolutely great. I'm texting McAfee now. But McAfee, this is why I love McAfee. Honest to God, I'm sending him a text right now. This is why I love Pat McAfee. Honest to God, because McAfee just said, screw you. Honest to God. It's amazing to me that McAfee has been given this kind of leverage, and I would love to hear the meeting in Building 4 between all these slapdicks that are running around. Well, what are we going to do? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to have the most popular show that you've ever had. And much to the chagrin of these folks, Feinbaum works really for ESPN. I worked really for ESPN. McAfee works for McAfee, and that is glorious. That's not kind of sort of glorious. That is absolutely glorious. So, all you guys in your suits, the Burke Magnuses of the world, the Connor Snells of the world, suck it! This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, and you and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right gets you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds. Turn your sports opinions into real money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users. Sign up today. Download the Prize Picks app. Use code DAKICH. Get 50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code DAKICH, Dakich, to get 50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. Shots fired. I love it. I love beef. I do. I like cooked beef. I like personal beef. I like interprofessional beef. I like beefs. Notre Dame continues to get mentioned as a potential 12-team college football playoff team. Other coaches aren't really happy about it, and that's Texas Tech head coach Joey McGuire, who's a great coach, by the way. It's been well documented that the Notre Dame Fighting Irish has many reasons to remain independent and rarely seem to suffer any consequences for doing so. That doesn't sit well with the old ball coach down there in Lubbock, Texas. Here's what the old coach, Joey McGuire, had to say. He slams Notre Dame and shows love to BYU. Here we go.
I have so much respect for BYU. I do, man. They're I was really excited whenever they joined the Big 12 because I think that they carry a lot of weight and a lot of respect. I think that I have a lot of respect for them entering a conference and not playing an independent schedule like other people. Y'all already know who that is. And so I have a lot of respect for that. They're earning their right just like everybody but a couple of people in the nation are earning their right through conference play, and playing in some really tough places.
Well, that's fine. Didn't say the schools, coward. This passive-aggressive bullshit, just say Notre Dame. That's who you're talking about. I don't know. Notre Dame's first two games were pretty tough. Miami, Texas A&M. I don't know what to tell you. If you are going to speak, coward, then speak. If you are going to sit up there and act like anybody outside of Lubbock gives a shit, and I like the guy, he's a terrific coach, but if you're going to sit up there and act like anybody outside of Lubbock, Texas, and I mean that literally, gives a shit about what Joey McGuire from Texas Tech has to say, then how about How about you simply name the name that you're talking about? Don't do that Jay Will stuff. Well, I find it interesting. Wait, what? Maybe McGuire has a bone to pick with Notre Dame. He, during the offseason, tried to poach, Notre Dame did, highly coveted general manager James Blanchard. I mean, here's Blanchard turning it down. Highly coveted general manager James Blanchard is turning down Notre Dame to stay at Texas Tech. Well, James Blanchard is a dumbass. I mean, I don't know. I guess money talks, but you got a chance to be in the football program at Notre Dame as the general manager, or you stay in Lubbock, Texas. I don't know what's wrong with you. You go to Notre Dame. I mean, if you want to play at the highest of levels, I understand what's happening this year very well. I do. Notre Dame could have scheduled whoever Texas Tech scheduled to start the season, been undefeated, maybe number one in the country, and next thing you know, nobody would be bitching, whining, and moaning about them. But they didn't. They scheduled two incredibly difficult teams. Of course, this goes back to Gene Cady. Now, you're going to say, what are you talking about? Well, when you're beating a school's ass like BYU, then you always talk highly of them. Excuse me, you just simply do. You're beating their ass, I don't know, looks to me like while this Joey McGuire was winning 67-7 over Arkansas Pine Bluff, Notre Dame was playing Miami. When Joey McGuire at Texas Tech was winning 62-14 over Kent State, Notre Dame was playing Texas A&M. When Texas Tech was winning 45-14 against a school, Oregon State, that not only fired its head coach, they fired their interim coach, while Notre Dame was playing somebody decent. I don't have who Notre Dame's third game was. So Joey McGuire, I would have respect for you if you had the nuts to call out Notre Dame by name instead of being a little biatch. Don't ever be a little biatch. If you're going to go the route of calling somebody out, call their ass out. Pretty simple. I mean, Notre Dame was playing some schools without a practice game. Your first game of any consequence was at Utah. You'd already played 3 games. Notre Dame's first game was first night out. And I'm not the biggest Notre Dame fan. In theory, and the way the media works, they would say that I am because I went to Catholic school an hour away, but not all of us were Notre Dame fans. I certainly wasn't. The only thing I really liked about Notre Dame was watching the basketball team play UCLA, Marquette, Indiana. I did. DePaul, loved them. Football, I did like Sunday morning, Lindsey Nelson. We move along to the middle of the second quarter. I love that. I thought that was great. Speaking of Notre Dame, they're playing Pittsburgh. Game day's going to be there. It's the Pat McAfee weekend. Pat Narduzzi, the head coach of Pittsburgh, was asked if this is a must-win game. His response was, well, a little bit shocking. A little bit. I mean, I kind of sort of get it. He was being totally honest, but I don't know why you would do this. Listen to the coach of the Pittsburgh Panthers.
Do you feel like this is a must-win for this team when it comes to something?
Absolutely not. It is not an ACC game. I'm glad you brought that up. It's not an ACC game. I gladly get beat 103 or 110-10 in that game. They can put 100 up on us as long as we win the next 2 after that. But again, our focus is on Notre Dame and getting as many wins as we can.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know. I get what he's saying. He's saying we get in the college football playoff if we win our conference. And this game, sure, But the way he said it, absolutely not. I'd give it, okay, well. And people say, well, what a way to rev up the troops. The troops don't give a crap about what the coach says at the press conference unless the world has totally changed. I mean, your coach says something at a press conference, who gives a rat's ass? But I would have a hard time personally saying that in a press conference and then go meeting with my team. I would have a hard time with that. I would. That's just weird. That's a weird answer. Wasn't loving that answer. Hey, enjoying the show? Of course you are. Make sure you head on over to YouTube, youtube.com/@. Don't at me with Dan Dakich to make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. That way you'll never miss any of our great content. And coming up tonight, 6 o'clock, don't forget that same right there. Go to it. We'll be live. Chat room will be open. We'll do it for, 30, 45 minutes to an hour and have a great time. There you go, live on YouTube tonight. Every Wednesday, we're going to try to do it if we can. It's fun. What are you talking about? It's a good time. Really good time. Join us, please. The saga of Nico Harrison comes to an end in Dallas. Mavericks made the decision to fire their general manager after a 3-8 start. Not good, particularly when, well, you know the deal. The entire city of Dallas was on his ass. The entire city was on his ass when he got rid of Slovenian prince sensation Luka Doncic. Here is 17 seconds worth of fire Nico chants, man, at Maverick games, home games. It goes fast, people. It was only a year or so ago, not this past year before, where the Mavs and Luka Doncic were in the NBA Finals. Fast forward, Doncic somehow is with the Lakers, and Nico is gone. It goes fast. Think about the Pacers last year getting ready for Game 7. Next thing you know, Halliburton tears his Achilles, and the Pacers are 1-8, 1-9. I didn't see if they even won last night. I was getting ready for this show, not my afternoon show. They're either 1-8 or 2-8 or 1-9. Either way, it goes fast, people. Life comes at you fast, is how that commercial used to be. Here's an Mavs reporter on the firing. My last convo with Nico Harrison, his GM, was media day this year. Told me why shouldn't you be fired? The question was the most disrespectful question he's ever been asked, and had a good back and forth. Oh, I skipped a shot. Excuse me. Oh, this is where Nico Harrison, I'm sorry, my bad. This is where Nico Harrison was asked last year why he shouldn't be fired.
Why shouldn't you be fired?
Well, one, I think I've done a really good job here, and I don't think I can be judged by the injuries this year. You have to judge from totality, from beginning to end. And so I think I have a really good working relationship with Patrick. I think you add in Rick, the leadership that we have is really elite, and you'll see next year when our team comes back, we're going to be competing for a championship.
There you go. All right. That didn't happen. 3-8, and the momentum got in the way. My last convo, Isaac Harris is a really important guy to Isaac Harris. My last convo with Nico Harrison, his GM, was media day this year, told me why shouldn't you be fired was the most disrespectful question he's ever been asked. Had a good back and forth. Ended with him saying time will tell if he was right. Well, time has told. There you go. These dudes, these jackasses that never could play, never coached, are, deep down idiots. They get so excited. Why are fans so mad? Well, let's take a look at what he slimmed down. And this was the best thing. Not for Harrison, not for the Mavs, but certainly the best thing for Doncic. He got to get his fat ass in shape. The Slovenian sensation is only doing this, averaging 37.1, 9.4 rebounds, 9.1 assists, 1.7 steals, shooting 49, 32, and 78%. I don't know what 63% TS is. I'm sure it's something really important. Should be the front runner for MVP. Nico from the Lake Show. Thanks for everything, Nico Harrison. All right. There you go. Coming up, Ryan Hollins. We'll get his thoughts on the firing of Nico Harrison. Changes to the All-Star game, USA versus the world. Will that make any difference? Where is OKC? We'll get to that in a moment. You know him, you love him, you watched him play in the NBA for like 27 years. Ryan Hollins, NBA analyst, and of course, at the Ryan Hollins, joins us. Hey, Nico Harrison fired. From the moment he made that trade and the reaction to it happened, was this inevitable, Ryan? Was this just a matter of if, not when?
No, not necessarily. There are a number of factors at the end of the day. First and foremost, injuries. It's just really unfortunate. They've been hit with the injury bug. You can probably count more days Anthony Davis on the bench than playing for the Mavs. And I'm telling you, man, when they are healthy, because our group got to see them, the Rockets, the very first game that he played, they were a great team. They were physical. They were strong with Kyrie. It's a headache. That's a contending team in the Western Conference if healthy. And then you add in Cooper Flag with the depth. So that's a good team. They can't control being injured. And then the other element, Dan, and you know this, you play with great players. You upset Luka. You made him mad. You put a fire under him. And I think for all players, we have a moment in our life that we can probably stick to and say, man, this changed my life. This coach told me I was no good, whether it was a trade, whether it was getting cut. Shoot, I think I had several of those, Dan. All right. But you remember them personally. So Luka being upset, starting the year at a certain point, averaging 40 points a game, like that didn't help, on top of the reaction. So I think there are a number of elements, and Nico was man enough to kind of stand on his decision. He's a great guy. And I think that, it was just too many factors. And unfortunately, Dan, it in professional sports also, somebody has to take the blame. Somebody's got to take the fall, at the end of the day. And I will say shout out to Nico, who's a great guy. I love the way he handled it, just kind of joking on Instagram, saying, girl dad, unemployed, just rolling with the punches. So I think that was cool of him. He's a stand-up individual. He's going to bounce back ultimately. But there were so many factors that came into play there.
Yeah, two things based on what you said. Number one, and I learned this as a coach, I lost my two best players at Bowling Green, a MAC school, 7 of the 10 years. And my 3 best players, 5 of my 10 years, and I don't bring it up other than every other day, just to say that sometimes injuries are a reason, not an excuse. And totally with you on that. The other thing, and I was talking to Isaiah Thomas about this yesterday, Michael Jordan, to your point about you having a chip on your shoulder, hell, I had to have a chip on my shoulder just to get to Indiana. I couldn't touch the rim for crying. Not only Michael Jordan ain't the only guy in the history of sports that had a chip on his shoulder. Luka Doncic got embarrassed and he got in shape. You had a chip. Everybody in certain, competitive people, we all have that chip, to your point.
Yeah, and for me, I had several moments. Obviously, look, Dan, I was cut as a freshman, but I think my moment in the NBA that stood out, that was like a pivotal moment. I was in a situation, I wanted to get out of Cleveland. This was, post LeBron. I had a deal set with the Celtics, and Cleveland just wasn't, working with them. They didn't want to do anything to kind of make the move happen. They didn't want to take anything back. This was something that the Celtics and my agent were trying to push. And, it got to the point, and shout out the Cavaliers for this. They didn't have to do this, but, I requested for them to waive me. Now, waive, Dan, to many folks at home sounds like a very bad word. Ryan Hollins just got waived. Buyout sounds much better. But for a player, you want to get waived. You want to know why? You go home with all your money. But just the stigma behind seeing my name and waived it stung. And for those who don't know, you get waived, you don't just go to your new team the next day. Like you have to wait a couple of days before it happens, dude. And you can't go into any team facility, any of that. So I was in Cleveland, dude, at a low point in my life going, I'm out the NBA. I don't care. Even though I knew I had to deal with the Celtics on the table, doing push-ups, running sprints, doing slides in my basement, just mentally kind of locking into a zone, knowing that, hey, I'm not in the NBA right now, just seeing those words, but they stung with me, and it was something that I never want to see again.
Yeah, no, I get it. People have that in business. People have that in coaching. I had that when I got cut as a sophomore in high school, and 2 of my buddies got brought up. No, we all have that, and I think it's.
Who was it, Dan? I bet you remember their names. Who was it? Who got the pull up before you,
Danny? Danny Plesac, you see him on Major League Baseball Network, pitched 19 years in the big leagues, and Mike Connell. I love Danny. I don't know Mike anymore, but I knew him exactly. I'm like, fuck you too. Anyway, and I like, but it did. Don't you think, Doncic? He got his ass in shape. Nico wasn't wrong when he evaluated Doncic as a conditioned athlete with the Mavericks. That's how I look at it. And he helped Nico in many ways, did he not?
No, 100%. You know, when he stepped into LA, the same complaints were there from JJ Redick and staff in that, you know, when they lost to the Timberwolves in the playoffs, they're saying like, hey, you got to be in shape. You know, you're arguably the best player in the world. It's you and Nikola Jokic coming off a finals run where, hey, it still wasn't enough, you know, with the Mavericks where, you know, the Boston had a unique roster, but they would just pick on him. There was nowhere for him to hide, you know, on the floor. Dan, we talked about that at the higher levels that you play. So he wasn't wrong, but yeah, it put a battery in Luka's back. And, you know, Luka was one of the guys, you know, it could be his time with the Magic, you didn't know if he was going to play because he was always on that injury report, probable knee pain, lower back, whatever. You know, it may have been, and he comes out and gives you a 40 ball, you know, so,
right.
You know, the challenge too, Dan, you know, moving forward with athletes, some of these guys are amazing when they are young, and if they don't take care of the body, they become the if and what and maybe stories. You know, if he had been this, he had been that, and you know, hopefully for Luka Doncic personally, I'm a huge fan. I hope that moving forward, it's just something that wake up call that extends, you know, 5 or 10 more years onto his NBA career to say, man, I got to take my body serious. I mean, he had a body of a 35, 40-year-old, you know, with the way he was missing games and the pace that he was on. So I'm glad he got in shape. It's just good for the game, Dan.
It's great for the game. You know, it is. And I think that it's great for him. You know, you get to a point where it's kind of do or die. What do you think about the Lakers without LeBron? And what are you hearing about LeBron coming back? When?
I haven't heard anything about being back. My understanding that he's set to start practicing soon. He's going to do it with the South Bay Lakers while the team is gone. So obviously he's going to be staying home and not traveling. But I think it's the most crazy thing that I've ever heard in my life, Dan. I think it's so wild that people say that if they're a better team without LeBron James this season, and when you have a window, you have a guy by the name of Luka Doncic, and you have a chance to compete for a championship because those guys are that good. If you fill in the right piece around the right players, you have a chance for a championship. I think it's crazy for them to say that they're better off without LeBron. Now, in the long term, yes, that's common sense. You don't know when Father Time is going to hit. You know, LeBron's, you know, he's getting that overtime pay. He's getting double, triple pay in NBA standards at the end of the day. So he's going to make that team better. LeBron, yes, can play off the ball. When they talk about the defensive concerns, LeBron can roll over and play the center or power forward position. So let's not act like anybody's going to ask him to be chasing the perimeter with his activity. Right. And then you have a chance now to legitimately limit his minutes. And, you know, he'd be good without the same usage. And for LeBron, he wants to win, so he's going to have some buy-in, and there's a little more leverage now because, you know, when you're a new kid in school, you can't go demanding everything. You know, he's a new kid; he's got to prove himself. You know, it's funny that sucker's got a chip on his shoulder right now. You know, at his age, so he's finding ways for him to have to go out and prove something again.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to seeing how Reeves adjusts, everything else. Hey, what's your thought on the USA, I guess it's USA versus Europeans, foreigners, all-star format? That going to make it better, worse? What do you think?
Dan, as an American-born, you know, former NBA player, man, Dan, like the writing is on the wall. Like, you know, we used to scoff on it. You know, those guys, they're soft. They don't have it. Soft. They get over here, they can't compete. Heck no, them boys are tough as nails. Man, Dan, the first time I went overseas and had to play against Dan, you might know, the first time you go overseas and play against an Eastern European and he knocks your teeth back in your mouth and he throws you elbows all practice long and takes you out to lunch afterwards after he does it, man. Those dudes are different. They ain't soft, man. What you talking about, man? But the league, when you look at the top stars in the league, we go down that top 5 list of the NBA. What are we going? SGA, Luka, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jokic, who's number 5? We searched, and let's hope we throw Anthony Edwards on there, right? But at the end of the day, the world is coming. I think it's shaky. I think there's the wake up call should have been like 10 years out to the American players to work on the right things and become more skilled. And I do like it, Dan, at a grassroots level, because ultimately these kids are going to prep schools. They're getting training earlier. They're doing homeschool programs where they can just go and work on it again. The world has been doing this for a long time. And I think the skill level, Dan, this is such a deeper conversation. I think the skill set of the big has now come into play. And we're seeing this with these huge 7-footers who can put the ball on the deck and shoot step back threes. Dan, I could have had a step back three in my game, but I was taught to do jump hooks, So these guys are getting taught the right thing. So the NBA is getting taller, but now that next step of the skill set and the early development is where they're going to have to come back and get competitive. But the world is here, baby. That competition level, that's going to be a straight game. I'm shaking in my boots. I'm sitting here going, man, who's going to be on Team USA? How are we going to beat this? Hey, we might have to bring another ringer in there. You might have to get a couple of beads to get the citizenship, man, and make it work to go and be competitive. So I think it's great for the game, though. It is truly great for the game. So it'll be fun, man.
I'm Serbian. I know a lot of the Serbian basketball people, and this is like, I don't know, 25 years ago when I was at Indiana, maybe even longer. A guy was visiting, and we're out to dinner. He goes, "Hey, Dan, I'm telling you, us big women are screwing those big men over here in our country. We're going to have some big boys coming up here." And I've always laughed at that. I just always, the side of, "Hey, Dan,
like,
these big women," I'm like, that makes sense to me. Like that, big women. She said it exactly like that. We were about half a bottle of Slivovitz in. "Hey, Dan, these big women over here are screwing these big men. We're going to have some big boys come." I laughed so damn hard. I did. And he's right. My sister just went to Serbia with her husband, and she's like, "Dan, everybody here's a giant. Like, it's unbelievable. Giants. Like, holy shit, everywhere you go, whether it's wherever, Zagreb, wherever. It's unbelievable. Belgrade, unbelievable." But there you go. Hey, the SGA, you mentioned them, and the Thunder. My Pacers, how quickly it falls apart with injury, man. I mean, they last year. So you got do you think the Thunder will repeat? And I don't know. It's just kind of sad about the Pacers going into Game 7. Next thing you know, you lose Halliburton, everybody's hurt. It sucks.
When I look at the way that Oklahoma City started the year, what scares me is their lack of pressure. And the P word, my favorite P word, Dan, we know it, potential. That potential is still there for them to get bigger. There's still a ceiling that they haven't hit, and that's scary. Obviously, I love my Houston Rockets. There's still some work to be done. I think we have a group that competes with them extremely well. But also what scares me is normally, Dan, after you win a championship, you got a group that's a little older. You got a group that's hit their prime, right? And you're saying, how do we maximize this? And you go out and you're making all these free agent roster moves, right? The scary thing with them is like, it still almost has a feel like there's no pressure on Oklahoma City. They're young, they're dumb, young and dumb, not saying they're dumb, but saying that they're not thinking about anything. They don't see or feel the pressure. They built a culture there in Oklahoma City. And I like to say that their biggest problem might be, man, some of these guys, their contracts are going to be coming up and we're going to have to pay them, but they're rolling without J-Dub. Jalen Williams, their second best player, is not even on their roster right now. So they're creating a culture that's sustainable. And Dan, for those who don't know, if you watch them play, they can pressure you, dude. They pressure you for 40 minutes. And it's a coach's dream because you have guys that don't play and they're going plug and play with guys in the roster. So they're creating a culture shift. I think maybe in the NBA, they've been able to play deep. We've talked about depth. And then like what scares me, Dan, I don't know how you feel about this. Like when you watch SGA, it's so sustainable because he plays in slow motion. When I was in the league, you saw it would be tough for Derrick Rose to keep on. He was so herky-jerky, so much torque on the joints. Kyrie Irving, the north to south, yank, snatch, those moves didn't feel sustainable. Shea walks up the floor, Dan. He can do this at a men's league for the next 100 years, and he's doing it in the NBA. So, hey, Dan, are we teaching the game wrong? Luka Doncic in slow motion. These 6'6", 6'7" that they play with pace, it's dangerous because you're going, he can keep this up.
I went and saw Jokic play last year, and I'm like, I don't even know how he breaks a sweat. Like, he, walks up, looks around, fuck it, I'll throw it over here. What the hell? You know what I mean? It's amazing. It is. It's amazing.
No, they're revamping the game.
Anyway.
You can our three best players, you can argue, right? Our three best players playing slow motion. It's dad ball. It's dad ball, man. These young boys are playing dad ball and dominating.
Hey, Giannis, he gets it. I've said this about Giannis. When he gets the ball in the middle of the floor, the only thing you can do is hope he misses. That's it. Because he's going to go from the top of the key in one dribble, a shot fake, dunk, layup. You're screwed. It's unbelievable watching him play.
He's so physical downhill. And again, he just scares me. With his heart, you love his heart, but just the physical play, the pounding that he takes. And then, Dan, Giannis is one of those guys. He got a banged up near ankle. He gonna come and bring it 100%, 110%. You the training medical staff over there probably has to tell that dude to go sit out. He's a throwback, man. I've said it for years. He's a throwback with what he does, but he's a dominant force. We just saw him the other night. Houston got the win there, but Giannis gave the Rockets every bit of piece of their money, man. But he's a headache. You play him, it's old school boxes and elbows. So you're always gonna have a chance with him over there. But man, just him getting downhill, and it's so unique because a lot of guys like that, he's not just big and quick and powerful. He's like agile. Like he can get through that phone booth. You know what I'm saying? He can get tiny through a crack and then explode and then hit you with power. So, he's the type of guy that can beat you in different ways. I don't know if that makes sense. Like I'm faster than you and I'm stronger, and then I jump higher, and then I got like a 7'5" wingspan. So that's freakish. And then you got that Wemby kid over there. Dan, did you see Wemby?
Yeah, that's nuts.
Dan, the other night, he gets the ball at the top of the key. He clears out. He tells the teammate to clear out. Like, that's the Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan move, right? He tells them to clear out. He dribbles. He goes right to left cross and pulls up for three for a game. And it's like, you got a 7'6" guy, Dan, that's doing that, and it's scaring me. And like, earlier we talked about the league. I'm like, are there more of those over there? Are there more of those over there?
Damn.
But what his ceiling is so scary to me right now. Like, we had a vision with LeBron that we were always able to say he gets a jump shot and he gets the post move. Oh God, it's going to be scary for the league. Wemby, you're sitting back going, man, he's naturally going to add weight, and then he's getting mean, and then he's got a monk in his ear on one side, Kevin Garnett in his ear on the other side. You're going, man, this dude is doing things the right way, and he don't care about nothing. He's sitting there reading books in the locker room. So I'm intrigued on where the league is going to go with him. And right now, man, like that dude is poised to be the face for a long time. And I'm telling you, San Antonio's a team we just saw. He's as advertising. And Dan, you'll love this when you see him in person. It's not perfect right now, but he's playing winning basketball. And even if the ball's not dropping for him, he's like impacting the game. Like that dude went from one side of the 3-point line to the other to block a shot. Like, he's saying, I'm impacting the game. And I think that's scary because, like, are you just out there shooting threes, or are you playing winning basketball? And that kid's playing winning basketball, man.
I did not see, and I'm pissed off about it. NBA guys, I saw them in person. Most Major League Baseball guys as I was growing up, but I didn't see Gretzky play hockey. It pisses me off. I'm going to go see Wemby. When they come in here, I'm going to go see him because I don't want to say, hey, look, 20 years from now, when I'm dead, I didn't go see that guy. He's that kind of good. Honest to God. Hey, Ryan, thanks, man. Really appreciate you. Thanks for coming on. Always love talking to you.
Anytime, brother. Look, my bad I didn't have the glasses on. I'm going to tell you one thing. When you see that kid, you're going to see one or two things that you thought you've never seen. You're going to walk away from that game. Sean Elliott told me, he said, you're going to see one or two plays that you have never seen in a game of basketball that you didn't think were possible.
I believe
it. It's crazy.
Yeah. At 7'5". At 7'5".
Yes.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate you, man.
All right, Dan.
Man, that was such great stuff. There he goes. Ryan Hollins. Give him a follow. I said this. I did not see Gretzky, and it pisses me off. You want to see, like I saw Jordan, Barkley, all those guys play and all that, but you want to see the greats. Be right back. Tonight, 6 o'clock Eastern Time, Don't At Me goes live on YouTube. We'll be reacting to all your questions, takes in real time. It's a live show on the Don't At Me with Dan Dakich YouTube channel. Looking forward to seeing you all. Raucous last week. Hope it's raucous this week. Let's do it, Davey. Let's What the Hell Wednesday it. There you go. Oh, boy.
Sure?
Oh, boy.
About sure as I'm going to be.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh. That is not what you want.
Oh. You can't get a cord long enough for me, Davey. You can't get a cord long enough. And the question is, how the hell did that bear get in? I assume on the other side, or is that a broken window right there?
Dan,
how did he get in, you think?
He opened the door. I mean, the bears are sophisticated in these areas, especially where there's like a lot of people camping. I mean, they know how to open these car doors now, so you got to lock it. Somebody left some food in there.
Is that right?
Yep, I'm going to I mean, they're really sophisticated at this point.
That's crazy to me. That's insanity to me. They can open a car door, get in your car, in this case a truck. Man.
Yeah.
Look, I know they say this bear doesn't eat you, that bear does, this bear will, grizzlies are the most. I don't care. That thing's around, I'm getting the hell out of there. I am. But they can open the car door, so there was no smashed windows, no smashed windshield, nothing.
No,
just we can get in.
Yeah, not in this situation, Dan. And usually what happens is once they open the door and they go in, their movement rocks the door shut, and they can't open it from the inside. So they've not figured that part out yet, at least most bears, because there's tons of these videos I constantly see circling around, especially, I mean, I know that's not a black bear, but here in Tennessee, they're pretty common, especially up in the Smokies.
Jeez, I don't need none of that. I know my boy Seth Greenberg, he comes home and there's a bear up many times in Connecticut right on the entrance to his neighborhood, just sitting there chilling. Next! Damn. I didn't know that.
The shark just jumped into the fucking boat.
Watch out. We do not want to get clipped by that one.
Oh my God! Holy crap! Oh my God! Look at the fiberglass, bro. Holy crap! Jumped out of the freaking water into the boat.
Oh my God. Holy shit. You just smoked me in the fucking.
Are you okay, bro?
Holy shit.
Holy
crap. The frame, dude. He jumped right over me.
He jumped over you, bro. Oh my God. Bro. Shit. Was this what you were fighting the whole time?
Yeah, it had to be.
No way.
No, I just got it and it jumped out of the water.
You
ate my fish and then
it ate your fish and then jumped into the freaking boat.
Okay, I'm not touching that thing.
No, dude, we're done. We're done.
Did you lose the rod?
Look at your fish. Dude, it knocked the trolling motor back into the water. Your rod is gone?
We have 2 rods are gone.
2 rods are gone.
Dude, Jesus Christ. Only Ryan's rods left. That was the scariest thing. Holy shucks, you have no idea what my POV view was. You have no idea what my...
You know, you're not so tough. I always say give fish a rod with a hook and see how tough you fishermen are. Give the animals a gun and see how tough you hunters are. I don't know. The lady was annoying as hell, and the dudes are looking around going, hey, man, I don't know what the hell we're doing here. You know what I mean? Like the lady, Davey, was, oh, my God, and being a big mouth. The dudes are like, hey, man, I don't want to touch that thing. I don't know. That's dangerous business right there, Davey.
That fishing trip is over, Dan. Once that thing's in the water, I mean, you just have to let it die. Like, you're going home after this. You can't risk throwing that thing back into the water without it taking a hand or a leg. So it's just like, all right.
I agree.
We're calling it a night.
I totally agree. Next. I'm not touching that. I don't know what to do. Yeah. I do that.
God, thank you.
You want to move?
I should have watched the news. Hey, who registered this?
You want to move, but you come over here?
Nah, fuck all that.
Here's Sabrina, come on.
I'm already here, so let me get 10 on pump.
Sabrina, get in here.
10 on pump 12, 2 of your quick picks. Hey, where y'all going? ain't nothing but a little damn rat.
Yeah, it's fine. You need to come in here.
Let me get a number 24, 16.
Wait, the dude just keeps ordering? Is that a hurricane or something that comes in and the dude just keeps ordering?
Yeah. He's not bothered by it one bit. I found this funny. I feel like this is like out of a TV show or something where, you know, everything's falling apart around them, and he's just like, it's all good. Just go ahead and get me this, and this.
Right. He just keeps ordering. Wow. Next. What the hell? Oh, the obligatory. Oh, jeez. Oh, Davey. I'm assuming he's not impaled. I'm assuming his legs are spread. Oh, my God.
How you don't get impaled is the amazing part there, Dan. Yeah, he managed just to land on the fence like that. He's able to get off, walk away just fine.
Oh, my God.
How about the idiot with the camera go help the dude? I mean, I get it. We want to film all this, but Davey. All right. All right. Next. Jeez. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Get down. We'll deal with you. We'll deal with you. Get down, please. Get down.
Look at the cop.
Get down. Stop resisting. Give me your arm. Stop resisting.
Dude got caught. Dude got chased. Dude got hit by a car. That's the triple crown of bad shit right there, Davey.
Yeah, I think they were looking for the R instead of the D in the police cruiser. But, yeah, Dan, this is actually this is a couple of weeks ago, and it was some woman that was, like, wielding a knife looking to attack a bunch of people. Nobody was hurt. Even after getting run over, they were fine. I guess, I mean, all things considered, going to jail for a good bit of time. But yeah, that's it's not a good place you want to be in, under a vehicle.
No. First off, you don't want to be chased. You don't want to be crazy enough to wield a knife. Then, of course, you, well, let's be honest, cops are at a donut shop, so you're going to get caught wielding a knife at a Tim Hortons. That's pretty good, Aaron. And then you get captured and you get, no, that's a bad day. That's a bad day. There it is. Craziest shit you'll see on the internet on a Wednesday. What the hell? Wednesday. Guys, gals, let's woke-a-dope it, will ya? Woke-a-dope it. Woke-a-dope. Hey, by the way, our woke-a-dope, I think it made it on something. I don't know if it was Inside Edition. Something made it somewhere. I don't know. So the ones calling a fascist just elected a communist. Makes perfect sense. Makes great sense. Or it's just stupid. Next, name calling. All they got is name calling. That's it. Just name calling. Muga, most useless governor in America. The Muga movement. He flew down a private plane to a conference in Brazil, I think it was, this guy Newsom, to talk about global warming. These people are, they just look right at you and BS. Next. I love great jeans. You mean jeans, right? Right? Hell no, we all love everything about Sydney Sweeney and her jeans. We don't kind of sort of like it. We love it. Sydney Sweeney's got the best jeans ever. Ever. Don't apologize ever, you big-boobed wonder, you. Last take. Let's do it. Last thing. Let's do it. You know, things are getting interesting around the world of college athletics. LSU, a complete mess. Now they're trying to say, well, we didn't really fire Brian Kelly. No, not really. So we're going to try to get out of paying 58, 53, whatever the right number is, $1 million in a buyout. Typical Southern stupid. LSU is a mess. Whether you like Brian Kelly or not, the man signed a contract. The man signed a contract. You signed a contract. The buyout's $58 million. Pay the damn $58 and move it along. That's it. Tom Mars, who is an attorney that has been involved in all of these, says LSU has not a leg to stand on, but they're trying. And, of course, the smear campaign will come out. All I hope is it goes to court and Discovery shows. Whatever Discovery shows would be interesting and fascinating to know the inside of LSU's program under Brian Kelly. Another program that is in disarray is the idiots over at the Big Blue Nation. Yeah, Kentucky. Kentucky got that ass slapped last night by Louisville. Pat Kelsey, friend of the show, has been the coach, 10 minutes? And he went and beat the dog out of Kentucky, the Big Blue Nation and Mark Pope. And in typical insecure Kentucky fashion, their fans, the honeymoon is over. Pope sucks. We paid $22 million for this. That's right. Kentucky fans love you, win and win only. And they're so damn insecure that you have to love them too. Hey, Kentucky fans, suck it. Hope it's a long year for you. I like Pope. I like most of the people at Kentucky. But you Big Blue Nation people, you little doughy white guys that are trying to make money, lying, cheating, stealing, y'all suck. Hope your team gets its ass beat. We'll see you tomorrow.